Well, hello there everybody. This is UXW Bill here again, and I'm getting ready to go on my nightly grocery run, but before I do, there's something kind of neat that I want to show you. So let's get on the road. Now before I get started, I want to touch on some things for the inevitable comments that will come in asking about this. There are people out there who disagree with my recording video and hand-holding the camera while I'm driving, and while I generally disagree with their stance, I don't disrespect it. It's a thing to do that kind of walks the line as to whether or not you've got the ability to do it, and you certainly should never do it in congested traffic conditions or when there's little kids around or anywhere where there's road construction going on. Now that said, what I'm going to show you tonight is actually road construction, but there's nobody around, and I do not advocate doing this even if there is nobody around. It's just that this is kind of cool, and it's a very low risk time to show it to you, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and take the chance. But let's go ahead and get started here. Just head out on the road and show you something first before I show you the next thing. Alright, so here I am, I'm out on the highway, up to speed, and coming up upon a road construction scene here. Now what they're doing up here is they're rebuilding a bridge, and the way they usually do this in Illinois, maybe the whole United States for all I know, I'd certainly welcome some input from everyone who watches these videos on how it's done in your particular part of the world. But right here is what's usually done, in Illinois at least, on a highway. What they'll do when they're rebuilding a bridge is they'll actually segregate the bridge into two separate lanes, and they'll tear out one lane while they're working on the other. They leave the remaining lane open. Go ahead and slow down here. And then they'll put a traffic light at each end of the bridge. Now the traffic light has sensors at each end, and basically what happens, this is a three-way or a four-way configuration here maybe, but there's a sensor at each end, and the traffic in the opposing lane is stopped while traffic from the oncoming lane is allowed through, and basically the traffic lights arbitrate it such that there's only cars and trucks going in one direction at any given time through here. So this van that you see approaching in the distance has got to stop while I'm going through the sectioned off lane here. And then eventually, once the logic has decided that it has cleared, it'll allow the van to go on through. But I came across a bridge recently that's done a little bit differently, and that's what I want to show you. I'm going through it the other way now, just so you can see what happens here. I've got a stoplight, and that SUV is able to go on through. And then after the logic has waited for a while, it senses that my truck is sitting here, and it'll turn the light green so I can go on through. So this lane basically changes purpose depending on what's waiting at either end of the bridge. Now I've got the go-ahead. You can see how the other side of the bridge there is blocked off, all torn up right now. Now, coming up here just ahead is the bridge that I actually want to talk about. See, they've done something very interesting here, and I'm not sure entirely why, but instead of just segregating the bridge down into one lane, they actually tore it completely out. And ordinarily when that's done around here, they just go ahead and close the road, but this being a fairly major artery between a couple different cities here in Illinois, I guess they decided they couldn't do that. What they did do is very, very interesting, because the bridge is totally out for major surgery or whatever reason they tear bridges completely out for, and they've done something rather unique, which you'll see in just a minute here. Alright, a number of other motorists have been waiting here. What they did is, instead of just completely closing this road, they actually put in a little workaround road. And you can see those other cars down there going around the bridge and on their merry way. Now I've got a stoplight, so I've got to wait here. Might as well take the thing out of gear, and as you can see, motorists have started to show up behind me. Alright, here I go. Getting onto the little side road, driving good and slow through here. No sense in being in a rush. You can see how the bridge is definitely out over there. All torn up and gone away. I'll exit this little side detour road, get back into my lane, do the fun part, tromp it. Yeah, gas isn't trading for what, $3.80 a gallon? Yeehaw. Worse than the Keykeeper. That's why I'm not allowed to drive the Bonneville.